Have you ever tried to start out in the blasting business? You should see some of the remarks you get when you ask them what they want blowing up. You know, with this job, it is difficult to get off the ground, as you can imagine. So I'm going to try and explain to you what happens. And when I got my ill-fitting civvy suit and me 50 quid in my hot, sticky little hand, and I got an XWD motorbike with a couple of panniers on and a shovel on my back, and I used to go around blowing up tree stumps and things for these farmers in round Cheshire and Shropshire and up and down. And I had been working for, about 6 months or so on this motorbike, 6 or 8 months. And every other Friday afternoon, I used to get my bollocking off my bank manager, you know, like, I want to word with you. I want to word with you see, about this 87 quid overdraft that had never gone down. Well, I don't think he should have lent it me in the first place. If he was getting so upset about it. And I used to wait until 3 minutes to 3, hoping he'd gone home. And he used to wait for me, and that used to make him worse. Because I think he was missing the wooden tops or something. Anyway. So, this lot went on, and I had started to blow up an 8-acre wood. A wood that had been cut down. 8 acres of tree stumps. There's a lot there. And I started at one end, and some other idiot had started at the other. I can't know what had happened if we ever met in the middle, but it never came to that. But I was called away to blow some rock up at Nottingham or somewhere. And when I went back again, I'd been working for this rather large, excitable farming lady. And she met me at the gate saying, "He's gone, Mr. Bates, he's gone." I said, "Who has gone, Mrs. Q, and where?" She said, "It's poor Mr. S, you know. When he was going home one evening, they think his tracker end dropped off his van, and he dived through the edge. And it's taken the council 4 days to fill the hole up in the side of the road." It seemed that the shock of dropping into the field had set off the detonators, and that sets up what is called sympathetic detonation. Whatever explosive there is in the van, the bloody lot goes off. It's not sympathetic to the poor twat that's driving it, only to itself, you see. And I do believe that they found his ring piece 1,000 yards up the field with his shoelace threaded through it. This, again, might seem humorous to you, but it's like one gentleman pointed out to me, how would you like your left boot shoved up your arse at 4 miles a second, you see? It makes your eyes water somewhat, you know. So, what had happened, really, it had turned him inside out. And after the nasty smell had gone away, they started to fill up the hole in the side of the road. And as I say, at that time, I was having a lot of trouble with my bank manager. And then, one Friday, his manner suddenly changed. And he said, "Come in, come in." I thought, Christ, he's gone homosexual, you know. The strain's been too much for him, you see. He wants deviation. Then he said, "Sit down," which allayed my fears a bit. Then he said, "We are going to get you on 4 wheels." I said, "Are we?" He agreed with him at a time like this. Said, "Yes," he said, "we are going to loan you a further £40. I had never heard a quid called a pound before. I thought it was some sort of foreign currency. "He's going to loan you a further £40. I said, "Oh," because he'd heard about this tragedy, you see, and they'd had high-level financial talks at the bank. And somebody said, "Did you hear about that bloody idiot going for a Burton in a van?" And somebody said, "Yes, and we've got one on our books that's doing the same job on a bloody motorbike." So, straight away, there was a lot of panic. And so they couldn't see their way clear for flogging a hole in the road for 87 quid. So somebody had said, get the idiot on 4 wheels, throw him a sprat. You see? Keep him alive till he's paid it off. So they did. And with what you can get for that motorcycle, that was 35 quid. Or 40 and 35, making a grand sum of 75 quid, you don't buy a lot for, do you? And I got a 1937 clapped out Ford 8 for that, which was black and rust when I got it. But I've been painting the backyard gate, and I thought, well, and the fence, I thought, well, it's a pity to waste this paint. I would add 2 shades of brown. And mixed together, they came out that horrible dog shit colour. So I brush painted it with that to keep the weather out, and they called it the Flying Shite. Funny part about it was, last year I had a Volvo which was the same colour, but they used to call that bugger Safari Yellow. I think it's something to do with the price. Anyway, I thought, by God, I'll never pay off this overdraft now. It's over the ton. You see? And so I thought, I shall have to go into advertising. I've been talking to an American. And well, they're good at advertising. They're good at bugger all else like, but advertising is quite good. And I thought, I shall have to go into advertising. So I had 500 leaflets printed. And a friend of mine told me where to stick them, you see. You get friends like that, don't you? But at the same time, another friend of mine was a public health officer in Liverpool. And they'd been having trouble with the piss corner on the Dock Road. It might not seem relevant to this bloody story, but you'll see how it develops as it goes on. And it was one of these, you go in by alongside the wall on the Dock Road, and it sticks out, and the pavement goes like half round it, so you're actually having to slash out towards the street. And this was a November afternoon, and he was sitting in his office, being a public health officer, because it was cold outside. And he got his pipes turned up and his overcoat on. He'd had a look at the fag ends and fingernails for that morning, you see. And he got out, and it was a nice, warm, humid atmosphere in his office, and a lady came in with her hat in her finger and thumb and dropped it on his desk and said, what are you going to do about that, Mr. Inspector? And he put his nose over it, and with the warm, humorous atmosphere in the room, he thought, that's piss. It was unmistakable, you know. You've had them stand like that in front of an open fire, haven't you? Oh, that's piss. And it was. I said, well, what was it, John? He said, well, it seemed at 2:30 the dinner time drunks were in there, and it had been the highest up the wall for half a crown. And somebody had made the air brick, you see. All over the bloody hat as she walked back. Oh, I thought to myself, well, if they've got another that's the place to stick me notices. About 6'2", the tall ones can have a readie, and the little ones can have a long-range space and read it from the back, you see. And it worked, you know. You'd be amazed at the amount of response that I got from it. But they were always very loath to tell you where they'd read the bloody leaflet, you know.